back with another episode of the Dope Conversations podcast. I'm your host and your girl, Kim Bella. I am in Salon Moguls today with who I call the GOAT. Now, you might not call her that, but she my GOAT, okay? Tanzy Clark Wright. And the crowd goes crazy. Tansy didn't know nothing about that, okay? All right.
I did not.
What is up, Tansy?
Hey, Kim.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
We in this beautiful salon. We're finna have a dope
Yes,
conversation.
finally.
You ready?
Finally. I'm
Finally, we
ready.
made it happen
I'm ready.
before
And
the winter time
thank you
came.
for having me.
Yeah, this is so beautiful in here. I
Thank
remember
you.
coming for the grand opening and the whole street was sold up.
It was
We
sold
couldn't get
up.
up. I thought I was at the wrong
The
address.
grand opening was
I
grand.
know, it
It
was
was grand.
grand.
Hmm.
I'm so happy to have this conversation with you because I want to ask you some stuff, but I know the people want to know other than the
Oh
hair.
Lord.
You
What do
know
they
what I'm
want?
saying?
What do they want to know, girl?
We're gonna get a little deep today, but
Okay.
we're gonna keep it tansy. That's what we're gonna call it, tansy.
Okay.
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 So for those people that don't know who you are, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Tanzy Clark Wright. I am the mother of Cameron, Mr. Cameron,
Mr. President Cameron. That's
President
what we're gonna
Cameron,
call him.
President Cameron Wright. And I'm a sister, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
friend, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
mom, I'm a daughter, I'm an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a child of God, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
king's kid,
King's kid.
I'm a Capricorn.
Yeah. A
That's pretty
Capricorn.
much that. I think I hit on
Yeah. So
all the
how
good ones.
long have you been an entrepreneur?
I have been an entrepreneur for 32 years.
32 years.
I
Have
don't
you
even look that old.
you sure don't? What? Look,
32 years.
have you ever had a 9 to 5?
I think I was 14. I worked at Taco Bell for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's
2 weeks,
about
and
it.
that was it.
Oh, and I worked. That's a lie. I worked at Operaland too. I worked at
Yeah.
Operaland in high school during the summer,
Yeah.
maybe a couple of summers. But after that,
Okay, so are you the oldest sister, middle sister,
I'm the baby
the
sister.
baby sister?
Hmm.
Are you really the baby sister? Like, I
I
know
am
what
really.
I know what the birth certificate says, but are you the baby sister?
Y'all depends on who you ask. If you
Right.
asking me, I would say no. If you ask my sisters, they would say yes.
Me, I'm the baby sister on paper, but
Hmm.
I think I'm the oldest.
Yeah, I
You
be
know what I
acting like
mean?
that too.
Yeah. I
In a
tell
lot
them
of
what to
instances,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, I tell them what to do and
They
how to
don't. They
move.
they don't. They don't comply, but I do tell them.
You put that out there.
Yeah, they don't
So
comply.
President Cameron,
President Cameron.
that's what we're gonna call him, President
We're gonna
Cameron,
speak it into existence.
because he can be the president.
Absolutely.
The way you be having him swagged completely out.
Yeah, that's just one part of him though. Cameron's
Yeah.
actually really
You
smart.
Yeah. You talked
Um,
about him being in
he's
golf and
he's
stuff like
really
that.
smart. No, he
Hmm.
plays tennis.
Tennis,
He
tennis.
plays
Okay.
tennis, and he started playing football,
Hmm.
real football today. Well, I don't want to say that. That's not right. He
Yeah.
played flag football 2 seasons, but now he's actually playing pad football. And
Okay.
his first practice day is right now as we speak. So,
Okay. So he gonna have
and
a
of
whole
course, my
conversation.
mother is has him in practice. So you know how that goes. But
Yeah.
Cameron is he's made me proud.
Yeah, I
He's
know
made
he
me
has.
proud.
You know, one thing I love is seeing you all on social, or when you post your pictures of y'all traveling the world together.
Yeah, we.
That is so beautiful.
I Cameron's first airplane ride. He was one. We went to
Yeah.
St. Thomas,
Yeah.
and he didn't even cry. He didn't cry on the
He hops on
plane,
that plane now like it
and
ain't nothing.
and I'm just watching him now. Like I can tell him, Cameron, go pack your bag, get your toys. He has his own little suitcase full of toys, his
Yeah.
game, and all of that. And honey, he gets in the car. He has his stuff. He has his headphones. He's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
And this last trip we just went on, we just went to New York a few weeks ago, and it just showed me how mature he's gotten from when we first started. Because we go
Mhm.
somewhere at least twice a year,
Mhm. Mhm.
and now his little friend and his mom goes with us on a lot of trips. So we started that probably about 2 or 3 years ago,
Okay.
and we all go together. So actually, in a couple of weeks, we going to Aruba for
Going
my
to
mom's 80th birthday.
Now, who picks that? Does President Cam pick
No,
that? Okay.
no,
He just go along for the
yeah,
ride.
because
Yeah.
Cameron ain't got no money.
So he a
No.
broke president.
Baby, yes. Cameron ain't got a quarter, so his mother picks it. But I
Yeah.
wanted to wait to take him to New York because it is so much walking. It was just
Yeah.
it's so much excitement, and he needed to be a little
Mm-hmm.
bit older to be
Mm-hmm.
able to just really enjoy. And he enjoyed it so much. We've been to DC, we've been to
Yeah.
LA, we've
I was
been
gonna
to
ask you what's his favorite
Miami.
place.
Actually, he really, we went to DC. I took him to the natural history museums.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was maybe 6 or 7. He probably was 7.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
he is still talking
He
about, because
loves
he loves dinosaurs still. So
he loves
he
that.
loves seeing, that movie Night at the Museum. He
Mm-mm.
loves seeing that big elephant and
You
all of
can
that.
watch it
So
50 times probably, I bet.
yeah, I don't,
You
but yeah. But yeah, he loved all of that. So I think
yeah.
DC was one of his favorite places, and of course Universal Studios.
Mm-hmm.
We've been to Universal
And he loved his
about 4 or 5 times.
granny and granddaddy, don't
Oh,
he? Yeah.
what? His nana Cam actually has a job. He's working with his tennis instructor, and he
Yeah.
actually gets paid this summer. And
What?
he told me, I said, Cam, what you gonna do with your first check? He said, well, I'm gonna give my nana some of it, not his
Not
mama.
you. Yeah. Nana.
But I love that he thinks about his nana and his
Yeah, that's
granddaddy.
so sweet.
And that was the first thing he said. So he gets his check next week. So
Yeah. That's how
I said, well,
Mila
how much you gonna
was.
give her?
Yeah.
He was like, well, I don't know. I'm gonna see. But he told my mama, he said, Nana, I'm gonna give you some of my money. So I thought
Yeah.
that was just so thoughtful.
That
That
is
just shows what type
sweet.
of kid he really is.
Hmm. That's how Mila
Mhm.
was with my mom. Like
Mhm.
she would put mama before me, and I
Oh
thought,
yeah.
well, wait a minute. I don't want went through all the.
Exactly, girl. His nana is everything, honey. His
I
nana is
love
everything.
that. So listen. So you made mention you've been in the hair industry for 35 years.
Mhm.
Was that your dream? Like that's what you wanted to do was hair, or you? What did you?
My sisters were in cosmetology when I was still in elementary school, and they went to Maplewood. They were in high school, and they were in
Hmm.
cosmetology. And they would bring their kids home from school, and
Yeah.
I would, they were doing different stuff to each other's hair,
Hmm.
and it kind of, I was intrigued then. I said, well, when I get in, first of all, I wanted to do everything they did, because I'm the baby sister,
You the
so
baby.
I
Yeah.
follow my old lining. I follow lining around all the time, and I wanted to do everything that they did.
Hmm.
So once they were in cosmetology, I said, well, when I get in high school, I'm gonna get in cosmetology. But I didn't know that we were gonna move at the time. We ended up moving to Antioch, my middle, when I was in middle school,
Okay.
and so I didn't get to go to Maplewood
Mm.
or White.
Okay.
I actually would have went to White's Creek, but I didn't get to
Yeah.
go.
You didn't get to
And
do it.
so I ended up going to McGavick. But either way, I
Hmm.
decided when I get in high school, I'm going to take cosmetology.
Hmm.
And when I got in cosmetology, I think it was my 10th grade year. It was just like everything just came just natural. It was just,
You caught on
I could I
quick.
could look at something and I could just do it just right off top. It was. I mean, looking back on it, to me, it's kind of strange now, but like clearly it was just always in me. And the more I just developed my skills, I just got more and more intrigued. And then once I graduated, um, well, during high school, like my senior year, I worked in the salon.
Okay.
And when I went to my first hair show in Atlanta, it
Yeah.
was like when I was in high school.
Hmm.
That was it.
Yeah.
I
You
was
was like,
like,
this is
honey,
what
because
I'm doing.
they look like rock stars. I was like, that's what I want. I saw Kenny and them for the first time. This is when Kenny owned um, Finesse
Yeah,
on
I
you and
remember
Lane,
that. Uh-huh.
and I saw them at the hair show, and it was Kenny and Phillip, and I mean
Yeah.
these are like the goats. These are like my goats.
Yeah,
Okay,
those are your goals. Yeah.
when I saw them, they looked like Prince and the Purple Rain. Like that's how they was dressed. Their hair was fly. Their clothes. I was like, that's
That's
what type of
it.
hairdresser I'm gonna be. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And they were known. They were.
Baby,
You couldn't hardly get an
they went to
appointment.
work like that.
Yeah.
I used to go to work like that. I don't go to work like that no more. But I used to. I
Dressed
was
up and
like,
everything.
baby, they used to be
What?
so fresh. I was like, that's what kind of hairdresser I want to be.
What was? Do you remember the first hairdo you did when you got into the salon? Do you remember the first? Was it like the pink curls,
Oh, girl,
the
I put
updo?
so
Like
much
what was
grease.
that?
I put so much grease in this lady's hair, girl.
And did she act like she liked it?
Well, let me go back.
Okay.
Because I did all my friends' hair in high school.
Yeah.
Like, I did their hair for the prom. All
Okay.
them big, crazy looking updos and
Yeah.
all that. Girl, I had them so fresh. But I did the hair in high school. So, but I just didn't, I hadn't learned product management yet.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So, girl, I was just caking everything in the hair. Like,
Grease
I mean, it
gel.
looked good.
Yeah.
But, like, today, oh no. I was like, girl,
Yeah.
that was the worst.
Yeah. So
That was
was
the
that
worst.
the first one that you
The
can remember
first
that?
hairstyle, girl, I don't even remember.
Was it like pin curls and the
Yeah, we
freeze
did
curls and
updos,
stuff like
pin
that?
curls, freeze curls, scrunches.
Yeah.
I was the queen of the scrunch, baby.
Yeah.
The scrunches. Yes, yes, yes. I think
Do
that would
you
probably be the
remember? Do
first
you
one.
remember saying, looking at someone's hair and you did it, and was like, I can do this. Like when you
Oh
did your
yeah,
friends, like I got this.
yeah.
Ain't nobody
But
get
then when
me.
I started to do it, I didn't have it.
Yeah.
I didn't have it. I was very aspirational,
Yeah.
but I was like, I could do that. But guess what I did?
Mm.
Since I couldn't do it, I went to class to learn how to do it.
Mm.
So that's what when I would get into doing stuff, and I was like, "Girl, you don't know what you're doing.
Take a
Go to
class.
class,
Yeah.
baby. go
Take
to
a
class.
class.
Go to
Yeah.
class, because you don't know what you're doing, sweetie.
Yeah.
Especially with color. Like my best friend, her name. I have to say her name. Her name is Keisha.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I have a lot of real close friends, but this is like one of my oldest friends,
Yeah.
Keisha and Corday. We been friends since we was like 13 years old. Like
Mhm.
once I moved to Antioch.
Okay.
These are the first two ladies I met, and we've been best friends ever since. But
Mhm.
honey, the first time I did Keisha, I colored her hair. She like a leopard. Keisha
Did you
has
play it
beautiful.
off?
She has beautiful hair like Oprah. We was at home in the kitchen. We was in her mama's kitchen, but she has beautiful hair like
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey. I mean,
Yeah.
still to this day, beautiful.
Really?
But baby,
Mhm.
when I tell you, when I took that foil off her hair, it looked like tiger stripe leopard.
And what did you do? Did you play it off, or you was like, I messed this
I
up, or I
mean, and
mean,
then she's really conservative. She's an AKA. She's real conservative.
uh huh.
So that girl, the color was just the
It's too
blonde was
much.
just way too orange and blonde. I didn't know different levels. I didn't know what product, what peroxide to use. Girl, I was just winging
Yeah.
it. And I think this was probably like her first year of college.
Yeah.
So like this is my first year doing hair, her first year of college.
Yeah.
Girl, honey, I done it a lot of my friends. I
Yeah.
just say that in the
Yeah.
in the very beginning. We talking about 30 some years
Yeah.
ago.
So
But
did
I
you?
went to class.
Okay,
So
that's
now
important though,
I'm an
right?
excellent colorist.
Yeah.
I can look at something and I can say, okay, well they use this, and this.
Can you look at a color now and be like, girl, she shouldn't have did that?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
see that all the time, baby. Them lines of demarcation.
You be wanting to
Oh
slide on your car, be like, girl,
no,
let me help you.
I
You
don't
know?
be no. Mm-mm. I
You
know who
like,
my client is, honey.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I don't be wanting
You
to
can
slide my
tell.
card. I just keep it moving. I be in Kroger somewhere. I just keep it on. I'm like, that wasn't it. But I just go on.
So you may mention you was in someone's salon first. That's when you started off. You're working
Mhm.
in a salon.
Mhm.
Were you just like a shampoo
I
tech? You
was.
started off like that first.
I
Okay.
was a shampoo tech for a long time.
Mhm.
That's why I don't understand. I don't understand in our industry now. Like nobody wants to shampoo, and it kind of started.
Where did that come
I
from,
don't
Tanzy?
know. I really couldn't tell you, but I can honestly say just looking back,
Mhm.
when I was on Main Street, and this is before the tornado,
Mhm.
maybe around, I'd probably say 2018, 2017,
Mhm.
somewhere around in there.
Mhm. Mhm.
Girl, I went through so many, honey.
Yeah.
But that last run I had, I was just like, girl, this is it. Like, girl,
Yeah.
don't hire nobody else. It's
Yeah.
just not. It ain't working out. And I
You
think
mean
it was
shampoo
around.
techs? Yeah. Oh
Yes,
yeah.
I think it was around 2017, 2018 is when it kind of just started to make a turn
Mhm. Because to
for the
have a
worse.
shampoo tech is beneficial, right, for the stylist.
It's
Or
50
depends on your
50.
clientele.
It depends on the
Okay.
clientele. And
Okay.
I have the type of
Mhm.
clientele I have at this point, they just like, mm-mm.
They just want you to do
Mm-hmm.
it.
Girl, they done,
Yeah, I'll wait.
baby, if they were
Yeah.
sitting right here,
Yeah.
they would have you rolling. Do you hear me?
I'll wait.
But
Yeah.
I'm going to save those stories. I'm going
Yeah.
to keep those in the vault. But yeah, it was definitely a ride
Yeah.
with some of my shampoo techs for sure.
That just recently
But I'll
started.
say this in
Okay.
their defense,
Okay.
I was once that girl.
What?
I was a terrible shampoo tech. Coming in, I've been in the club all night, all of that. I mean, you go through that in your 20s,
Yeah.
but you don't expect for people to be like that in their 30s. But I
Right.
was in my late teens, early 20s. So
Going out, coming in,
yeah, stay
half
up all
washing the hair.
night.
Yeah.
Girl, half washing the hair. Girl, smelling like last night. All of that. You know what I'm saying? Veronica, I used to work for Veronica Wiley. I don't know if
Okay.
y'all know Veronica, but, and they say I act like her
Yeah.
now. But Veronica was my boss, honey. Veronica fired me so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, Veronica and Tiffany,
God.
they fired me a
Yeah,
lot.
cause like you're not doing what you're
Till I
supposed to be
finally I
doing.
got on board though, because I was like, they would fire me and I show back up the next day.
Yeah. was
Cause
like,
I was like, I ain't
girl,
going nowhere
yeah.
because I love that. I like working with them, and
Hmm.
I was learning so much, and I was like, I'm gonna get there. Y'all just
Yeah.
gotta give me a minute. Girl, I would shampoo, then I go back on the couch in the break room and take a nap, and they come back in and wake me up. Girl, I've been there, girl. I get it,
So that's how
but
you can understand. But now you able to say, but that didn't get me nowhere.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was trifling.
Yeah.
All of that was just fine. But again, I was 19, 20 years old. I wasn't 30 something years
So
old
you don't
doing
have
that.
no business at 30 doing that.
No, 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 no,
Yes,
no,
yes,
no.
yes,
I
yes,
was
yes.
fresh out of high school, so of
Mm-hmm.
course you don't. I mean, you out of high school, you don't know no better.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Sometimes,
caught on real quick because by the time I stopped working with them, I opened my first salon. I think I was 26.
okay,
So it didn't take
that's
me
right
long to
in
get
line.
myself together because that money was like going out the door. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't play around when it comes to people's time and their money and what they paying you for. So I learned real fast.
Yeah. And that's the way you make your living. So you
Right.
got to be able to treat people
Yeah,
right
you
and
have to
give them
take
a
it
good
serious.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
take it serious.
26 and you
Mhm.
you had your own salon. Was you
Mhm.
in there by yourself?
Uh-uh.
You had
I
you
had
had
a
your people in there
mhm.
with
I had a full
you. Okay.
salon.
Has it always been called Salon Moguls?
Nope.
Okay. What was the first one called?
Uh Divas.
Divas. With all
Mhm.
of y'all in there. How many was it?
Um let's see. Maybe six.
Maybe six of y'all.
Six.
Mm-hmm.
7 with myself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh girl, that
That was a lot.
mm. I'm surprised I'm still here after that one, girl.
It's hard with women
it's
anyway, right?
girl, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
it.
I don't know,
Ooh.
but I
Yeah.
the owner was selling the building, and
Mhm.
I closed for like a year, and then I moved to a salon in Metro Center,
Mhm.
and I stayed there for about, I guess it's been like a year and a half, and then that's when I opened up my salon on Main Street.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And so at that time, you didn't bring those same people from. You didn't bring anybody from the Diva Salon.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
You let them stay over
They
there.
were okay. Everybody just went their own separate way. I'm not bashing them or anything like
Yeah.
that.
But
But
sometimes it's hard
we were just
together.
young. We were
Yeah.
all young.
Yeah.
Just think, I'm 27. I probably was the oldest one there, but everybody else they're in their 20s. So they doing
Mm.
what I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's no shade to them whatsoever.
Mhm.
And it's just, we were all young, and I at that point I was focused, and a lot of them wasn't. I was
Mhm.
serious about being a business owner, and a lot of them was just still,
Mhm.
they were still trying to figure out what they wanted to do with themselves.
Mhm.
So it's not any shade to them at
Yeah,
all.
I understand that.
They were just,
Like
we
you
were
said,
just in two
young,
different
especially
spaces
if you were the
mentally.
oldest one. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So everybody's
girl,
learning and
baby,
growing,
that thing.
trying to figure that thing
Ooh,
out.
Lord, yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah.
definitely,
So
it
so
was fun.
yeah, but so being a hairstylist is if you could write a Bible or a book, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
to give these young people out here, because like I said, I call you the GOAT. Not
Hmm.
because like I sat in your chair before, I haven't,
Hmm.
but I see your work. We've had conversations before about how you run your business, how much of an inspiration you are to so many people, whether they say it or not.
Hmm.
Because the reality is that you're still consistent in the game. You're still
Hmm.
present. You know what I mean? When you
Hmm.
come, you walk in the room,
Thank
they
you.
know. You know what
Thank
I mean?
you.
They don't say, "Is that girl who used to?" No, no, they know. You know what I mean? So that's good
Yeah.
in this generation.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like, if you could write a book or a Bible, what would
Hmm.
chapter one be? Girl, be on time. What would you
Oh
say?
Lord, that's the first thing. That's the first
What
thing.
would it be?
The first thing would be learn your craft.
Yeah,
Like
really, really
when you,
take
if
it
you're
serious.
serious about this, be serious
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
Learn your craft. If you, and quit trying to do everything.
Everything.
You
That's
can't be.
it.
Look, my daddy told me a long time ago. You can't be a jack of all trades and a
Yeah.
master of none.
Yes.
Find your specialty. Find what you really like to do,
And do
and
it.
focus on it, and
And perfect
do
that.
perfect
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Perfect
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I
Yes. Yes.
promise you, you make more money doing it. When I realized that, that was it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Honey, I don't people call on phone right now. I don't do ponytails. I don't work hard, honey. I don't work hard no more. I
Not
don't.
at this big old age.
All that
Yeah.
stuff, girl, it just
Yeah.
take too much time. I
Mm-hmm.
don't all that time consuming stuff. I
Yeah.
don't do that stuff. I don't have to. But again, I started to learn my lane a long time
Mm-hmm.
ago.
Mm-hmm.
Once I messed up my friend's hair, that
Yeah.
leopard, tiger stripe leopard, I said, you know what? I'm gonna really learn how to do color. And
Yes.
I went to color class after color class after color, and I still that's what I really like to go
That's what I was going to ask you.
to
Even
do.
as long as you've been doing hair, do you still stay on top of like
Yeah.
take classes?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
that's
Even to this
important.
day, it's very
Mhm.
important because our
Mhm.
trends change all the time.
Mhm.
Every season is a new shade. This year, everything is ash, 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 ash.
Yeah.
How do you get to ash? You don't even know how to get to ash. It's a formula to getting to a ash color, especially if
Okay,
you
so
have
that's a
dark
color.
hair.
That you're saying that's a
The tone,
oh
different tone, different tones change every
oh.
every few years. Everybody's,
Mm.
oh, I want platinum. Oh, I want ash. Oh, I want strawberry blonde. Oh, I want. So color by itself is such a broad spectrum.
Mhm.
If you focus on, if this is what you like to do, if you just focus on that, it's so broad. You can
Mhm.
go in so many different directions just doing color alone.
Mhm.
If you go in a lot of African American salons, we try to do everything. But if you go in a Caucasian salon,
Mhm.
it's some stylists in there. All they do is color all day. They don't cut. They don't style. They don't shampoo. They don't do nothing. All they do is color.
Really?
Or it's some that all they do is cut. And that's it. Once the client leaves to the colorist, they go to the cutter and they sit in their chair for their haircut. Then they go to somebody else's chair for a blowout. That's how they do it. They don't do
So it can
all
be
the
a
single thing.
whole experience. Yeah,
Yeah, you
everybody
with
can.
two or three different people. And then
Mm.
that ticket. When they get to that front desk, it'd be a whole nother
It's the whole
situation.
ticket. It's a
Yeah, it'd be a whole
meal
nother
ticket.
situation. But we
Yeah.
African American salons aren't the ones that I know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not out there, but the ones that I know, it's we got to do everything
hmm
from
Chapter
start to
one is
finish.
chapter one is learn
Learn
your
your craft.
craft. Stay in your lane. Stop
Stay in your
trying to
lane.
do everything.
Stop trying to do everything.
Okay.
Perfect what your true passion is in the
Mm-hmm.
industry.
What's chapter two?
Be consistent.
Mm.
Once you learn your craft, be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Stay
Mm-hmm.
consistent.
Mm-hmm. Don't stop and then
Those,
go and then
oh
do
girl,
this
and
and then.
quit getting them jobs and then want somebody to wait on you get off from work and all. Honey, ain't nobody doing that. Either you gonna do hair or you not.
Are
That's
you
just one. That's one
not?
thing that drives me literally like
Yeah.
it grinds my gears so bad.
Really?
Look, either you gonna do hair, or you not gonna do
Yeah.
it. Don't call.
Mm-hmm.
I've had. Do you know how many people have called me and the
Mm-hmm.
first thing they want to come, they want to work here and all that, and I ask them all the questions. Like you sitting here asking me,
Mm-hmm.
do you have a job? Do you have kids? Let's just say, I want to see like how consistent you're gonna be. And when they
Yeah.
start telling me all this stuff, I'd be like, boo boo.
It's not gonna
It's not.
work.
I just told somebody it's like 2 weeks ago,
Like it's not
and
gonna
she was the
work.
sweetest little girl. But I was like, girl,
Mm-mm.
this is nothing. You're not gonna come in here getting on my nerves. I already know how this is
Yeah.
gonna go. I already seen it.
You've been doing it for too
Been
long. You
the
can see it from down the
baby.
street.
I can
Yeah.
see it from Walmart.
Yeah. Be consistent.
Be consistent.
Okay. And then what's chapter three? We'll
Um,
keep three chapters. Yeah.
take care of you.
Ooh.
Take care of you in the process.
Because everybody want to try to get the money, get the money, get the
hmm
money, and then you work yourself
hmm
down.
Take your vacations when you want to take your vacations.
Mm.
Get to the spa when you want to get to the spa.
Mm-hmm.
If you want take off on a Friday, take off on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
People
Mm-hmm.
people really expect for us. Like I've been out places like let's just say I go out on a Thursday,
Yeah.
like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. What you doing in here? Why you ain't at work? Cause I ain't got to be at work.
I
I could be in Green Hill somewhere.
got,
Why you ain't at the shop?
yeah. Girl.
Cause I don't want to be.
That's right.
Cause I don't have to be.
That's right.
Really? I'm just saying, like, because when I
Yeah.
say that, I'm not saying it in arrogance. I'm just saying
Understood.
because
Yeah.
I have set my schedule and my time for
Your life.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
So give
Mm-hmm.
yourself time to do what you like to do.
Mm-hmm.
After I had my son, I used to be like that,
Working, working,
working,
working.
working, working, working on holidays, this before I had my son.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Always at somebody else's beck and call. Like these people, when you dead, they still gonna get their hair
They're gonna
fixed.
go find somebody else.
So I have
Yeah.
I have missed baby showers. I have missed birthday
Working.
parties. I have missed, and my thing is just on because I wasn't saying no.
Yeah.
So now you know what I know what no is? A complete sentence. No,
Nope, I'm not doing it.
no,
Yep. That is
no.
so important because sometimes, you see the stylist and they're working and working and working and they leaving out 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night only to return 6, 7 o'clock in the morning because
I
they're
used to
gonna
do
do
that,
the
but I'm not a
yeah,
morning person.
yeah,
And so because I would be late all the time, and I would stop. I just said to
yeah.
myself one day, why do you keep telling these people
Mhm,
you're gonna be there when you know you get off? It's 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Like,
mhm,
why are you killing yourself trying to meet somebody else's expectations when you
mhm,
know that you can't meet them?
mhm.
My first client is at 10 o'clock. Don't ask me to come in any earlier than that. And I'm really not a talker to about 10:30. I'm just being real. Kim, you want me to be real? I'm just saying,
That
I'm
is
not a
so
morning
good,
person.
though. So that way you
But you know
already
what? My mornings
know.
where I'm
I'm
light
laughing
and
because I'm
bubbly.
like that. Like I don't want to talk real
I'm
early in the
light and
morning.
bubbly at 10 o'clock, 10:30. Do not call me.
Yeah.
Like my clients be texting me at like 8:30, stuff like that. Girl, and then I might find one of them little memes on Instagram.
Like,
And then
girl,
they'll text me
what
be
do
like,
you
girl,
want?
don't be saying all that. I know that was for me. I'm like, it really wasn't. But I'm just telling y'all, no, I don't. Girl,
Yeah.
8:30. I'm still a little,
Yeah.
I'm still a
Look
little prickly
irritable. And you just
at
making me
8:30.
think too
And I don't
early.
drink coffee either.
Yeah.
So it's like I gotta just wait and just, it has to
Yeah.
ooze out of me.
Yeah.
And then 10 o'clock,
Then you ready.
I'm like a little
10:30. You like, girl, what
flower.
you been doing?
I'm
How your
like a
day
flower.
going?
I'm all
You blossom.
bright eyed and bushy tailed.
Let me tell you this. So I watch TikTok a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I hate when I see customers on TikTok complaining about their hair
Mm-hmm.
experience. And they are dragging and dogging and
Mm-hmm.
just saying all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's always two sides of a story.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times they have a really bad experience, but you never hear the stylist point of view. And it looks as if there's a lack of accountability. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the client is complaining and this and no, you can't. Don't bring a person here. Don't bring your wheelchair. It was one
Mm-hmm.
lady. She came in. She was wheelchair confined, and so she booked her appointment. And then all these, they have like this whole list of don't come in 2 minutes late. You're gonna get
Mm-hmm.
$50 if you do. Just all this stuff. So she was wheelchair confined, and so she was like, let her know because she said, don't bring a big person here. Don't do this. My suite is really really small, just like everything. She said, let me reach out to the girl and say, listen, I'm wheelchair. The lady told her your wheelchair can't fit in here, so you have to reschedule. I can't see you. So she was like, okay. She was like, well, can you refund me my money? She said, no, I'm not gonna refund you the deposit. And she was like, it was literally like minutes. I booked, I paid the
Mm-hmm.
deposit, you got it. The instructions came back to me. I responded back to you and said, I can't. You know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
told me you can't. And you said that was enough time to somebody else could have booked the appointment, and that's why you're not going to give me the deposit back. So she goes viral because she's
Mm.
telling that. And so my question to you would be, I know you wouldn't have handled it like that.
Girl,
Like, girl, here
absolutely
go your
not.
money back.
First of all, I don't even do that.
Right.
I don't even take deposit.
You don't do
Look,
deposits.
no. I mean, I don't have to do that because my clients are gonna show up,
You
and I
Where the
rarely.
camera? Which one am I looking at over here? Did you hear that? She don't take deposits.
I
Okay.
don't. Yeah, like that's a new thing. Us
Yeah.
old school hairstylists, girl, we
Yeah.
don't. I,
You
well, I ain't
booked
gonna,
the
I'm gonna say I
appointment.
don't. I don't know what everybody else do, but
Yeah.
I don't. I don't do all of that. My clients call me. I don't even have a booking system.
Really?
No, I like to talk to people. I'm old school.
I love
Call me. I
that,
want to know what we
Tanzy.
doing.
Because what if I got
Cause I
questions and stuff
let me
like
tell you,
that?
I had a
Mm-hmm.
situation like that,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get in touch with the stylist, and I could, girl, that all of that got on my nerves so bad. And then they don't even tell you the address. First of all, what is your name? Because on social media, they name be Kiki Boo Boo, stylist
Number two
70,
five. Yeah.
75. I'm like, so what do I call you? Do I call you Kiki Boo Boo stylist 25? I mean, like,
I
what is your name? And
know.
then so when you
It's
pay deposit, well, what is your, where am I coming? Where am I going? Like, what's your address? They don't
I
have none
give
of
it
the
to you
information on
24
there.
hours
So, but
before
guess
your
what I realized
appointment.
though?
Yeah.
What I realized is that one of my younger stylists had to tell me is that a lot of them don't have license. So that's why they don't have their information up like
Oh.
they normally, like most stylists would. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh.
I mean,
Okay.
depending on what city they're in. But
Yeah.
from what I hear,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
ain't saying it's Bible,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying from what I hear that they are unlicensed hairdressers, and so that's why they give their stuff out the last minute and all of that. I don't know.
Mm.
I
But
don't
you don't have
operate
you
like
don't get
that.
on no website and book you. You contact you.
No, you. They have my number. We
Mm-hmm.
talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to know what you're getting
Because
done.
sometimes you have
I
questions.
just haven't been able to
Yeah.
get with that.
Yeah.
And I have friends to do, but for me, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a control thing. I don't know, but I just know I need to talk to my clients. I need to know what you're getting done. I need to know how to pace myself. I
Yes.
don't want to sit there and try to figure out this whole booking something.
Let
This
me
has been
tell you.
working for 30 some years. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's it. Let me tell you, Binky will not get a website for Rock the Best. He wants you to call him. He
Hmm.
wants to talk to you and see, like what type of person you are, what type, and all this
Yeah, that's
before I
me.
do that. He's like versus because if you click on the button and pay your deposit, I don't know what
I
I'm
don't want
getting.
all these random
Yeah,
people.
that's it.
I don't. I'd rather have
So that's
the
like
clients that
old
I have.
school.
But
Yeah.
I do take referrals. So
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
referrals come from my clients. And so they pretty much kind of weed out all the crazies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. So you would have handled that by graciously refunding her
Oh,
money back and
absolutely.
moving on. That
Absolutely.
lady
Well,
went
first of all,
viral. It
why
was
are you in a
awful.
space where you can't handle a wheelchair?
How small. And the lady said if she would have told me, like, I cannot handle it,
Yeah.
I could have
To me that
gotten
was
a
rude.
chair where I could have,
Right.
like, I could have worked it out.
Right.
But you were
Or she
so
could have left it in the
rude.
car. She could have walked with a cane or
Yep, that's
a
what she
walker or
said.
whatever.
You were
Yeah,
so
like
rude, I
that.
couldn't even. It was awful.
All that
And so
kind of
I
stuff.
think
I
the
try to stay
stylist,
away from that.
I think the stylist sometimes reputation, they may be the sweetest and nicest, but
Hmm.
you know, people will never forget how you made them feel.
Right.
You know what I mean? They'll
Right.
forget the stuff you said, but the way you
Right.
make them feel, they don't forget
Hmm.
that. And I think sometimes these new
Hmm.
um, hairstylists and stuff, they just,
It's just different. And I don't want to. I do not want to bash them,
but I think you get to
but
say what
it's
you say
just
because of you've been in it for 30, what you say,
yeah.
36 years?
Thir-
35? What is
32.
32?
But I'm
30
like,
plus? Yeah.
yeah, 30 plus. I'm like, I just it's just a different
Yes.
industry at this point.
Mhm.
Even the
Mhm.
last time Sweepy and I, we normally go to a premiere show. It's a big one of the largest hair shows in the country
Mhm. Mhm.
every year.
Mhm.
And the last time we went was a few years ago, and it was like not crowded. Normally, it's about 400,000 hairstylists come to that show every
What?
year, and it was
Wasn't
just
even
it's
know.
just the industry is just different. It's just different. It's so
What do
much
you think
learning
that is?
online, social media. It's
They
so
take
much
it away.
learning. It's so much learning online. They don't really do a lot of hands-on. We used to take a lot of hands-on classes.
They don't do it.
No,
You'll pay
you
that
have
money
to.
for like a Zoom or something.
Yeah, that's what they do
Mm.
now.
Mm. 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 Mm.
Hmm.
Mm.
But
Everything is turning like
we'll
that.
see.
But
I
you
don't know if
like
it'll ever go back to what it
no, it
used to be,
probably
especially after
won't.
COVID.
It probably won't. It
So
probably won't.
just have to
So,
find different
okay, so
ways.
the first hairstyle, the salon was Divas,
Hmm.
and then we moved to
Salon moguls on Main Street.
Salon Moguls.
Hmm.
Okay.
On
And
Main
so
Street.
that's where do you feel like when you have your salon and different stylists are in it, do y'all become family or do
Yeah.
you keep it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard not to because
Yeah.
we're in such a
All the
small space.
time. Hmm.
So it's hard not to.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Do you all tell people, do you say, don't do that like this, or you need to try this product,
Oh,
or you this?
absolutely.
So y'all do things like
Hmm.
that in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you think there are people in the hair industry, like or I would say in the salon, where the cattiness and the jealousy can be in there, where you don't want to see? I see it on your face. You know what I mean? Where like you may be running over with clients, and she may have too. Is that what is that like? Like, give your
I'll say this.
what do you
In my
think?
salon, I really didn't really experience that too much.
Okay.
Everybody was pretty much um, had their own clientele in their own right, and
Mhm.
they were able to stand on their own.
Mhm.
Um, it wasn't. I didn't really have that much that to that degree. It would be different on. It would be cattiness on personal things. It had nothing to do with the
Yeah.
hair. Just
Okay.
meddling. Folks just know how to just do not know how to stay in a lane and quit
Yeah. Yeah.
meddling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Leave people
Yeah.
alone. Worry about yourself.
Mhm.
It would be silly little
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah. That will
But as
kind of
far
drive
as
you
like the
apart.
hair part, everybody was pretty much. I maybe had like one person out of the whole my whole career.
Mhm.
Well, I'll take that back. In my first salon, yes, it was probably like that. But like as we got older and I moved to Salon Moguls, yeah, I didn't really have that type of cattiness like that.
Yeah.
Because for one, Stacy and I were older, and everybody else pretty much picked up and learned from us. We had been in the game longer than anybody
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
there, so they kind of just learned from us. And we were so open and free about, you know, showing them how to do things and stuff like that. It wasn't a That's never been like a big deal with anybody working with me.
Hmm. I know
Thank
that
God.
I know when I would come in there to get my nails done with Pam, y'all would just really be in there and just the vibe will be good, the music will be playing, and it was just a good thing. So now people have gone to suites.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel about that?
I hate it.
You hate it?
I hate it. I hate it for our
What?
industry because now you can go to a stylist and you don't get your hair shampooed. See, all that kind of stuff
I got
started happening when you moved in these suites. These people just in there just free balling and just wilding out in these suites.
because
And I'm saying
you in your personal
they're
space.
younger. They
Mhm.
haven't developed their skills. They haven't worked for anybody. You learn. You stay away from a lot of the pitfalls doing different things wrong when you work for somebody. They're gonna stop you and correct you
Mhm.
and teach you the proper way.
Mhm.
Well, this generation they don't believe in that.
Mm.
And so you just have to just let them, go on. And
Yeah.
to me, it's harder for them to build. I just do not understand how you come out of school one day and then have a suite paying $300 a week the next day. Like I just, it
Yeah.
doesn't it doesn't make sense
Cause
to
you
me.
remember grinding and like
Yes.
working up to
I
that
remember
point.
them giving me their clients when they had an
Yes.
overflow. It was a
Yes.
constant overflow, and it didn't take me long to build my clientele up because it
Mhm.
was a constant overflow in the salon.
Mhm.
Constant, constant.
Mhm.
So I would get 3 or 4 new clients every single week.
Mhm.
And sometimes it was just enough to pay my booth rent, but it was
Mhm.
okay, because
Mhm.
I knew the next week I'm gonna be back
Gotta
at
do
it.
this.
And you keep grinding and you keep grinding and you keep grinding. But
Mhm.
like with them, how do they get clients?
Mhm.
How? What are you doing?
It's
How
got
are
to
you
be that
paying
social
this
media.
$300 a week? Like, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I don't know. I don't know what their method is.
Mhm.
I don't even try to figure it out.
As a hairstylist, do you feel like a therapist?
Oh, girl, yeah.
Do you love that though?
I mean, it doesn't bother me. I just
Yeah.
think that's like a natural. I'm telling you, just me being gifted in this industry, God gave me everything I needed to do what I need to do.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
A lot of sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it doesn't feel like,
Can you
I'm
tell when
kind of
your
like,
clients are off?
oh, yeah,
You can
yeah,
tell.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I have a good discernment,
Mm.
so I can kind of pick up on what
What's
type of
going
moods
on?
they
What's
in and
happening?
all of that. And me learning my clients over the years, like I know who to book with who not to book with who, like all of that. Like
Yeah.
it's a strategic,
Like, don't put
like a
her in here with her.
chessboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a chessboard. You know what I'm saying?
You
But I'm
really have
saying,
to do that?
yeah, because I'm just saying when I look at some styles take longer than others.
Got
So
it.
some people don't want to be in here an extra 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I know if they're a little temperamental like that, I just don't book other people with them
Mm-hmm.
if I
Mm-hmm.
know it's gonna take me a long time to
Mm-hmm.
do something. And
Mm-hmm.
that just comes with learning your clientele and learning,
I know
what they
when we
like.
used to come into the beauty salon, like it would be wide open, we
Hmm.
would have the best
We
conversations.
do.
Like
Hmm.
everybody would be talking about
Yeah.
everything, eating. Go
Hmm.
get me some, bring this back. Because you just going to be
Exactly.
in the salon, all night or whatever, and
Exactly.
you don't have a problem.
Hmm.
Now you go into the suite, it's like your personal time and your
Hmm.
personal space.
Hmm.
So I kind of am like, I do miss that part of
Oh
it,
yeah.
but then I do like the personal experience of
Hmm.
it's just me in there,
Hmm.
I'm in there, and I'm out.
See,
You
then
know what I
that's how
mean?
you sound
So,
like my clients. When I was on Hyde's Ferry after the
yes.
tornado,
Mhm.
that's what my clients were so happy that
Yeah.
I was in there by myself. Girl, I felt like I was dying. I just didn't like. I
You
mean,
didn't like it.
it wasn't that I didn't like in the beginning.
Well,
I
smart.
did
Yeah.
because I needed it, but
Mhm.
after I kind of like, after I found this place, I was like, I was ready to go. I'm like, I need to be back around other people because I felt
Mhm.
like my growth was stunted.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
when you work with other people, you watch what they do, you pick up, whether you realize or not, you pick up different things from them.
Yes.
And I just felt like, oh, I feel like, oh, I was just doing all this boring hair, just boring and just
Mhm.
and even
Yeah.
though I had neighbors, that was next to me, it just didn't feel the
What
same.
good?
I
Yeah.
like having Eric work
Yeah.
here every day. We talk about everything, and then
Yeah.
by him being younger than I am, he kind of
Yeah, kind of keep you in the
keep me
know
in the
and
know,
hip.
girl.
Yep,
Keep
so
me,
you
yeah.
know.
I be knowing what's going on in the streets.
Yeah, I love that. I
Yeah.
love it. So we were the divas, and then we moved to Main Street,
Mhm.
became salon moguls.
Mhm.
Um, Life was life, and you going through living life.
Mhm.
And then was it 20? What did the tornado hit in
2020.
2020?
Mhm.
The
2 weeks
tornado
before COVID.
hit, and then COVID.
Mhm.
Okay, let's talk about your emotional state when that happened.
Girl, I don't
Like
even remember.
you don't, Tanzy.
It was just like, I mean, I remember, but it was just like it was so much
Did you feel
to
like
what.
that? Did you feel like that was personal? A little bit.
But
Like the tornado hit, my salon was affected, and then all of a
I
sudden
just couldn't,
COVID.
girl.
Like what's happening?
I was still like in disbelief, like
Like God, where
because
are
I'm telling
you?
you, I was when the tornado happened, girl. I was knocked out sleep.
Yeah.
I was knocked out, and one of my clients called and woke me up. She was like, "Have you checked on the salon?" And I was like, "What, girl? I ain't heard
You
nothing.
didn't even know nothing was even
Mm-mm.
going
I
on. Yeah.
hadn't heard a thing." And
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Check on the salon for what?" She was like, "Girl, it was a tornado." She was like, "Turn on," because I don't sleep with my TV on.
Yeah.
She was like, "Turn on the TV." And when I turned on the TV, girl, the man was standing like he was down there like by McFerrin, and he was like naming like all the addresses.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Girl, because my client who called me, she lives in East Nashville too."
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, "I think they by your shop." And when I heard the address, he was like maybe like a block down the street. I was like, "This is crazy." So I called Eric. I was like, because he lived around the corner from me.
Uh-huh.
I said, I said, I need to go and check on the shop. And he was like, "Well, I'm gonna go with you." So I went and picked him up, and we drove over there. And the closer I got off at Cleveland. So I was coming up through the back way of the
What were
salon.
you thinking at this time? When you was like, just let me get over here?
Yeah, because I just
You
didn't.
just, yeah,
I just,
okay.
I wasn't expecting to see what I
Yeah.
saw.
Mm-hmm.
But when we got closer, I think we was like I got off at Cleveland Street and we was coming up McFerrin, and I had to park like 2 blocks from like McFerrin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Girl,
Because
it
they
was
wouldn't
stuff.
let
Girl,
you.
it looked like a no, girl. The police hadn't even got there. This is like 1 o'clock in the morning. The police hadn't even got there yet. It was pitch dark, and all I could see, girl, trees was just everywhere. Like I'm talking about, you could not
Probably looked like a
pull your
darn
car.
movie,
It looked
didn't
like somebody had set a bomb off over there. And so we got out of the car. I left my car on the street right there, and we just walked up to the salon. And once we got there, I was just like,
you? Couldn't believe it.
girl, I couldn't believe it. Girl, it was just raining in there, girl. Just water was just coming out of the ceiling because it was still raining at the time. When we
Mm.
were standing out there, and I mean, it was pouring, girl. It was water like up to like almost up to my ankles. And girl, I was just standing there like, not to mention like my neighbor had they had just put up some solar panels on their building, girl. All the solar panels was in front of the door,
Mm-hmm.
and like some of the windows was blown out. And when I went in the back, like my air conditioning unit was like twisted. It was almost trying to suck the air conditioning unit up through the roof. So it was like just twisted in the closet. Girl, I was like, I was just standing there, girl. And I called my daddy. I was just
Did you
screaming.
cry?
Yeah, girl, I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Devastated.
I don't want to cuss on here.
No, it's
So I don't
fine.
want
Go
to say,
ahead.
I was like, WTF.
Like, what is going on?
But it was so crazy. I couldn't just think about myself. It was everybody on the street, and I just kept
Yep.
looking around
It
like,
wasn't just you.
no,
Yeah.
it was everybody
Oh my
on the street.
God.
Like, I'm like, this is a business district. Like, what is?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every business,
Was gone.
every business. I was like, this is so crazy. So I didn't really know what to think at that
Mm.
time. And then my client came. She met us up there, and girl, we were all just standing out there, girl, just like in this, like I don't know, I can't really
Yeah.
describe like how I felt at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Mm-hmm.
sun, the sun, it was still dark. No lights. They NES had shut the power off, so we was out there with like little flashlights with our
Yeah.
phones and stuff. So I told Eric, I said, well, let's just go back home, and then we'll come back when the sun comes up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Girl, the sun came up. It was the most beautiful day the next morning,
And it looked like
but it
whole
looked like a
a
total war
bomb.
zone, a total war
Oh
zone.
my
And
God.
I was just like, just standing there in the daylight, and I was just like, this is crazy. And all I could think about was my beautiful little light boxes. I was like, I was like, God, you just
Yeah.
blessed me with all this stuff from when we was on the TV show. Why?
Yes. That's right.
Why?
You were on the TV
Yeah.
show. That's
Yeah,
right.
so they had given us all of this stuff from the
Oh,
TV show, and but girl, I was able to salvage what I
good,
could.
good, good, good,
You
good, good,
know,
good, good,
I
good.
had I got a carpenter, so
Mhm,
luckily that day,
mhm,
the stuff got really wet, but I had a carpenter to like just revamp everything
mhm.
because I wanted to keep it.
Oh my God,
Hmm.
is this a time where you feel like you had to go have a little talk with Jesus?
Oh yeah, baby, a talk with Jesus is an understatement.
Yeah.
I had to
Like
lay on the
what is
couch for
happening?
real. I was just like,
Yeah,
but I just couldn't. I couldn't really just think straight at that moment.
yeah.
You know, I was
Mhm.
just like, I don't know what. I was like, what? You know, what am I gonna do? Because again, I'm thinking about my staff. Like,
Yes.
what are they gonna do? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
where are we gonna go? I was trying to keep us all together. So I moved to another one of my friends' shops. I moved to Ramika's shop for a
Mhm.
little while, but I was so overwhelmed trying to get everything prepared, you know, to inventory wise to
Yeah.
see what I lost, what I'm gonna do, and all of that. So I really didn't work a lot because remember COVID, they shut us
Mhm.
down.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm sitting there like, Cam got to be homeschooled.
It's just a whole.
Cam was being homeschooled. First of all, girl, this new math that these
What's
kids are
happening?
doing.
Yeah.
Baby, I've been out of school too long. So that was frustrating.
Yeah.
I
Oh
think
my
that was more
God.
frustrating than all the other stuff, just trying to get him out of second grade.
Like what in the
And
world?
you think you should be able to just
Oh
teach
my
second grade?
God.
I mean, why wouldn't I be able to teach second grade? I'm pretty
I
smart, you know what I'm saying?
know.
Girl, second grade, baby, it had me in a
I
chokehold.
know. You didn't know what to do
Second
with it.
grade had me in a
Oh
chokehold,
my
honey. So I
goodness.
got Cam a tutor,
Yeah.
thank God. And
Yeah.
honey,
And
Miss
working
Ella,
on that.
Miss Ella, I was able to figure all that out, and honey, she came through, and Cam got out of second grade, and girl, I was like, thank God.
Got
I
you.
was more so focused on that
Yeah.
than
Mhm.
just trying to get settled with the salon. And
Mhm.
so we had been shut down. He shut us down for like what, a month or so.
Really?
About I
All
think
the
it was about
way?
6 weeks, 6 or 8 weeks.
Well, you
So
couldn't
we
do
weren't supposed to
nothing.
be doing hair.
Yeah.
Now I did a couple of sew-ins
Yeah.
at home. I ain't gonna lie. But and that's cause my clients, girl, they so
Yeah.
spoiled.
Like I
But
need my hair done.
they
Yeah.
came to the house and I did a couple of sew-ins at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I it gave me time. That's when I really had time to think.
Mhm.
So it kind of COVID wasn't a blessing, but it kind of was because I was
Mhm.
able with everything going on. I was able to just sit still and just think because I'm a problem solver.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, if something happens, like just give me about 24 hours, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
And
have it
I'm gonna
all
try to.
figured
I'm gonna
out. You know
figure.
what I'm saying?
I
That's just
think
how
that
I
was a time.
operate.
I think that was a season where everybody was forced to
Yeah,
pause.
yeah,
Everybody.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what I
So
did,
yeah.
and I was able to just sit and think. I'm like, girl, you got to figure this out.
Yeah.
And it was so crazy. My sister was in her bed. You know, she's a real
Mhm.
estate agent.
Mhm. Mhm.
She was in her bed, and where I moved on Hyde's Ferry,
Mhm.
my mama used to get her hair fixed there when we were little girls. My sister said, "This how you know it's God."
Yeah.
My sister said she was late. My sister don't get out of bed for nobody.
Yeah.
Okay, when she's resting,
Yeah.
she said she was laying in the bed and she was like, "I wonder what that building is doing over there where Mama used to get her hair fixed." You know that was down not too
Mhm.
far from me. And so my sister got up and drove all the way over to that building. And when she got to the building, the owner, it was I think it was a sign or something on the door, but the owner just happened to be there. And
Mhm.
so my sister talked to him and was like, "Hey, is this for rent or whatever?" My sister is looking for a space, and I'm trying to find her something. And he said, "Well, I've already rented to somebody, but it was something with whoever he rented to. He hadn't seen them or something like that." And so my sister was like, "Well, look, I'm telling you, my sister would be a really good tenant. If that person doesn't come back, can you call me? And I promise you, you'll be, thankful that my sister's moving over here."
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Girl, I think she called me like later on that day, and she was like, I think I found you a spot," and I was like, "What?" So she told me about it, and so I was like, "Well, give me the address." So she gave me the address. I'm like, "This ain't far from where from where I live."
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'm gonna just ride around here to see it. So when I got around there, the guy, he ended up being there. I think it was like the next day.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up being there, and I was like, I really need this place.
Yeah.
I really, really need this place. And I was like, you know what, how much are you leasing it for? And he was like, he told me, I
Mm-hmm.
said, what if I gave you 3 months
Big
up
one.
front?
Let me go drop the paperwork. Yeah.
Baby, I had my key. I had my key in about about 35, 40 minutes.
He
He
said,
was
"Stay
like,
right there.
let
Don't
me go get
leave."
you a key
Yeah.
made and bring you this contract. And that's how I went. So I don't know. I don't even know who the person was he was gonna give it to. But I
Yeah.
was like,
I need this
I
car.
I, I need this.
Yeah.
So then after that, it was somebody next door, and I was like, my sister need a my sister need a place too.
Hook
He was
that
like,
right on
he
up.
was
Yeah.
like, I said, my sister, girl, me and Sweetie, we was actually in Florida. We was
Yeah.
in Florida at the hair show,
Mm-hmm.
and when he told me that the place was gonna be empty next door, because he was asking me did I want to expand,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, no, I don't want to expand. I said, but my sister needs a spot because Sweet Pea was in
Yeah.
Antioch,
Mm-hmm.
and so she was like, I wanna, she was thinking about moving. I said, well, my sister might want it. But girl, we was out shopping.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, girl, we was in the mall shopping, and I said, sister, I said, I think, the spot is gonna be open next door to me. So we got back, honey. The rest is history.
And she in that thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's how it went.
I love
That's how
that.
it
And
went.
you still looked out. You
Oh yeah,
know, that's what you do.
that's
Yeah.
them my
Yeah,
people.
we're going to talk to the aunties. I can't wait to have that
Girl,
conversation.
girl, the aunties or something else, honey. We have
Hey,
a
I
good
said, what
time.
be that? So I think hair is your ministry. What would you
Hmm.
say?
Yeah, I
That's your
think so.
gift.
Hmm.
Yeah. You
I think
change
so.
lives, you inspire people, make
Hmm.
them feel beautiful.
I think so.
Because sometimes I think for me, when I go to the beauty shop, I may not be feeling my best, but when I go and then my hair look good, then
Hmm.
you just kind of be like, okay,
Yeah,
I can get through another day. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
And so
Hmm.
I think, that gift that you have, because sometimes there are people that can do hair, and then there are people that are gifted
Yes,
for it. I think that's two different
it
things. That's
is.
just me.
Hmm.
Somebody can't flat iron,
Hmm.
but then, like you said, you can throw a little
I
color in there or do something.
I never understood people being in this industry not being a people person. You
Oh,
be like,
where is your personality? Good morning.
yeah,
You know what
yeah, it's different,
I
but
mean? Is it hard to
it works
tell
for them.
people sometimes, like they show you a picture? Do you say like this not gonna compliment you? I think you should do this, or do
Mm,
you give them what they want and just go on?
no, you can't give them what they want because if you can't achieve it, you just can't achieve it.
Okay,
I mean, I
okay,
can't. I'm good, but I ain't no magician.
right.
You know what I mean?
Like I
But
can't create just all kind of
but
miracles.
I typically I've learned to just steer them in a different direction and
Yeah,
say, you know what, I can't do that, but I can get you something similar that would be
yeah.
tailored for you.
Mhm. And make
You
them
know,
feel good about
hmm
themselves.
it's tailored for
So you
you.
moved into this salon and it was
Hmm.
just you.
Hmm.
How did you have to say something to the people that was in the salon like this is the avenue that I'm going down. I'm just getting this salon for me this time.
You talking about when I was on Hyde's Ferry?
Yep, when you moved
Oh
over
yeah.
there.
Oh honey, I
Yeah.
had a Zoom call with them because we were doing COVID.
I know. Was that
Girl,
hard?
I was crying and
Why
everything, girl. I was,
you?
and people think I don't have tear ducts. I really do.
Yeah.
They swear I don't cry,
Yeah,
but I
that was
do.
hard, I bet,
But I
wasn't
do,
it?
and
Yeah.
yeah, it was. Cause I love them.
Yeah.
They were so sweet. Eric and Bianca, they hadn't been there that long, and
Mhm.
and so we had kind of gotten into our rhythm at that point,
Yeah.
and they were younger, and they thought that I was just like the best thing since sliced bread. And no, it was so funny because they was always asking me stuff. So I enjoyed sharing
Yeah.
my knowledge with them.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
it was heartbreaking for me to have because I
Yeah.
was really trying to keep us all together.
Mhm.
And but it
Mhm.
just didn't it just
Couldn't
wasn't working
do
out
it.
that way. And actually it ended up working out because V has her own salon now. It kind of pushed her out
Mhm.
of the nest. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So, and
Mhm.
I am really proud of her. She's doing
Yeah.
so well.
I think
And
I just saw her in Bailey and Kato.
For real.
Yep, we
Hmm.
spoke.
But yeah,
Uh-huh. Mhm.
it kind of pushed out in it because she was kind of shy
Mhm.
and real
Mhm.
quiet, and
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
during that time, once I had the Zoom call with them, they were just like, "It's gonna be okay. We're gonna still
Yeah.
be together." But I was just like, I didn't know where I was going at that point, and I
Yeah.
was just like, "Oh my God!" I just couldn't believe it, but I just
Mhm.
had to figure it out on my own, and so
Yeah.
At that point, I said, you know what, this suite is so small. I I just it's obvious I just need to be by myself for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
This the
Mm-hmm.
only this you know
Can't
how
nobody else
I
come
kept
in
trying to
here.
tell God what I was gonna do, and He was just like, "No, you not,
Uh-uh.
girl.
This is
Yeah, you
for
gonna do.
you.
Yeah, you
Especially
gonna do
when y'all
this."
used to get y'all's hair done in that same spot you said.
Mm-hmm.
That
Girl,
was
when we was
just,
little girls.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's something else.
Yeah.
Well, I have to tell you, when I opened up my suites, I was terrified. I'm not a hairstylist,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but when I saw that it was in the middle of COVID, I was terrified. Who's coming in these suites? Like, what? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But I prayed and I was just like, God, I just need like, give me a sign to like show me that I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm minding my business,
Mm-hmm.
scrolling through social media randomly,
Mm-hmm.
and your post came up and you opened up your salon
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You opened it up, and I thought, this girl is still
Still
popping
trying,
on,
girl.
right?
I'm still trying, girl. I'm like the little engine
She's
that could,
still
girl.
outside. Yeah,
Yeah,
you are
I'm
like,
still.
you
I
still
don't
did
have
it.
a choice.
And I was like, if she can do that with such grace, it was so
Oh,
beautiful. And I thought,
thank
I
you.
can do it. I can do it. And that's how we got this award right here.
Oh,
The You So Dope
yes,
Award,
thank you.
because no, I've not sat in your chair before, but you don't have to like know someone personally to know that they're a genuine person.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you friends with who you friends with, and then
Mhm.
no, I don't. No, they not my cup of tea over here, and you stand on that. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? But I was so happy, like when I came into the salon with Pammy to do
Mhm.
my nails. Every time me and Miley would come in there, you would always be so sweet and so nice.
Mhm.
And then you had the tornado situation, and then you came back out. Like that didn't stop you. You know what I'm saying? And you
Girl,
are such an inspiration, whether people admit it or say
thank
it or
you.
not. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
And you don't try. And I've asked you for that red Louis Vuitton bag. I need you to put it in it, put it over to the
I'm gonna put it
side.
to the
Yeah,
side.
and
This
just
gonna be a
call
long
me.
time though,
Yeah.
Kim. A long time, girl.
I'm walking through them like, hey, Tiz, I'm like that bag. I need to just let me just put my name in the pot,
You sound
boy.
like my sisters. They are so funny.
Yeah. So to that person who is maybe even thinking about like this industry is watering down
Mhm.
because you've been in it for 30 plus years.
Mhm.
I know there were times, or let me ask you, were there times that you wanted to like, I'm out?
No,
You never.
never, never.
What?
No. Why would I?
Tanzy,
Girl, this is
I
the.
love
I
that.
promise
You
you.
never wanted.
Mm-mm, not once.
I
Not
love
to
it.
this day.
I love
No.
it.
Do
So,
I get tired? Yeah, but
yeah.
never career change. What would I do? I mean, I might decorate,
Yeah.
I guess, but just I don't know. Just having to learn how to do something else, like the way that I like to do things.
Mm
I'm I'm kind of a perfectionist,
hmm. Mm hmm.
so the way that I like to do stuff, if I'm gonna do something, like my dad would tell me, you ain't gonna half-ass it. Either I'm gonna do it all the way, or I ain't gonna
They're
do
going
it
to
at
do it at
all.
all.
And that's just how I always been.
So, do you
So
feel
I don't
about
feel
when
like I
you're.
can give another industry what I gave to this industry.
Got
I
it.
don't, girl. I don't even feel like
Got
it.
it.
I don't want to.
Okay.
Get somebody else to do
Yeah. So, do you
it.
feel like when you're really passionate and gifted with something, there will be days when I'm tired.
Oh
I
yeah.
need to take a break.
Hmm.
But you keep going.
Yeah.
Keep pushing.
Yeah. I'm
Stay
gonna
in
go
your
on
lane. Do
vacation.
what
I'm
you
gonna go
do.
on vacation about a week or so, chill out, and then I'm back. When I
Yeah.
come back, I feel so refreshed. So
Like
I
you
had
could
to
do
learn
it.
that about myself. Like
Mhm.
you need a break sometime too, and
Mhm.
you can't give your clients everything. You have to take care of
You
yourself.
have to take care of
So
yourself.
then I learned to do that once I had my son. When I was off on maternity leave after I had Kim, I was like, these people still going to get their hair fixed. Girl, they ain't. You can go and do stuff now. You know what I'm saying? Because,
Yes.
like I said, I miss so
Mhm.
much of other people's events and stuff by
Mhm.
always working. I always
Mhm.
put my clients first.
Yep. Yep. I
And so
love
I
that.
do, but now it's 50-50.
Mhm.
I put them 50 and I give
And then you
myself
give
50.
yourself
Right.
50. So, what's some advice do you want to tell? Is it anything down in your shana line that you want to tell these hairstylists out here? Any kind of advice?
Girl,
Down off in
they don't
here.
want to hear nothing
Yeah.
you got to say, girl. Oh, I ain't gonna do that. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Um,
And to those people that may not say it out loud to you, but they listen to you and they watch you, what would
okay.
you say to those people?
Um, I would just say again, just stay consistent, learn your
Mhm.
craft, be an expert at what you truly love to do.
Mhm.
If you can't give this your all, get another career.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't
treat
half-ass.
people,
Yeah.
treat your clients the way you would want to be treated. If you're going to get your hair done, if you're
I
going to get your
love that.
nails done, if
Mhm.
you're going to get your brows done, treat them the way you want to be treated.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
and I had to learn that. You know what I'm saying? I haven't
Yeah.
always been, and I ain't perfect now. You
Mhm.
know, but I'm just saying, like, I really tried to have consistency and treat them the way that I would want to be treated if I was getting the service from me. I
Mhm.
always put myself in their situation, where if they was in the situation, they had to be somewhere at X, Y, and Z. They don't have time to wait on you. So that's why I
Mhm.
don't do, when I do a sew in normally, is it going to be first thing in the morning and I don't have anybody else about 2 or 3 o'clock,
Mhm.
or I just do them on Saturdays. I don't put them.
Mm.
I had to
In
learn. You have to
between.
learn strategically. Put your clients um, in an order to where your day will flow
Mhm.
correctly. And
Mhm.
so I had to learn
Mhm.
that. Now I'm
Mhm.
good at it. You
Yeah.
know, after not having a shampoo tech,
Yeah.
I had to learn that real. You
Real
know, real.
quick.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I think this was a dope conversation. What you think?
I think
You
so
think it was good?
too.
I got
I
a couple
think you are
questions.
so dope.
You th-
I
really?
think you are so
Well,
dope, and
thank
I
you.
think I love and appreciate that you even asked me
Mhm.
to, yes, to even
Thank
sit
you.
down to just talk to
Yeah.
me and like just even pick my brain. I'm like, why you want to talk to me? But
Yeah. See, you
I
don't know
appreciate,
who me
yeah,
and mine. You're
I
watching.
appreciate
Yeah.
that, and I love your spirit, you and Mala's spirit. I just love y'all
Oh, well,
spirit,
thank you.
and
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you wanting to sit down and
I
talk with me.
appreciate you saying yes. I was so
Yeah,
shocked. Binky was like,
really?
"You need to get with Tanzy.
Ah,
You need to tell
tell
Pam.
Binky I
Get
said
with it."
hello.
And then I said, "He's like that tornado," and I said, "That's
Yeah, it
it.
was a lot.
That was
It
it." And
was a
I
lot.
wanted to talk to you about
I'm
that.
just so grateful
Yeah.
because when I found this place,
Yeah.
it did not look anything like this. And I'm
So
telling you,
pretty.
God
Yeah.
opened up so many
Yeah. I
doors.
love that.
Girl,
Yeah.
it was just like, you know how like you just be, it felt like I was on a yellow brick road.
Mhm.
Every time I got to the next stop, girl, another door would open, another
Mm,
door would
mm,
open,
mm,
another door
mm.
would open. Cause baby, this right here,
Yeah.
it took every penny,
If
every tear, every penny, all of that, you
yeah.
know. But I'm grateful that I had my family. My family has been
Yes.
so good to me.
Mhm.
My, you know,
I
I'm a
love
daddy's
it.
girl.
Yes.
I'm a mama's girl
Yes.
too, but
Yeah.
I'm really a daddy's girl. Girl, my daddy was right over here every step of the
Helping
way,
you.
and he's always helped me in all my
Mhm.
renovations. But like
Mhm.
this one was like, you know, this is mine, so I was
Yeah.
able to do, you know, really sync all of my influence
Stuff that you
and
really
style and
wanted and
everything that I really want to
yeah.
do. Instead of fixing up somebody else's space, I
Yes.
was able to do what I want to do with my
Yours.
own. And then on top of that, my girls got me across the finish line, girl.
I love it.
I'm
Is
telling
this the
you.
aunties?
Yes,
Okay.
girl.
I can't wait
Look,
to talk
we
to
had a
them.
moving
Yeah.
party. We had a moving party, and it was so much fun, girl.
Yeah.
They helped me pack my stuff up. Then when we
Oh.
got over here, girl, I was like, well, I'm gonna have this grand opening. You know how we all of us do stuff like it's in a whim.
Yeah.
We'll say we gonna do something. We be like, what?
Just
And then,
boom.
but
Yeah.
everybody just all come together, and they come in when any of us say we gonna do something.
Mhm.
It's all hands
Gonna
on
do
deck.
it. I love
And
that.
girl, they
Yeah.
show up and they showed out, and it was just, I mean, it was just perfect, perfect, perfect.
I love
Yep, it
that.
was perfect.
I can't wait to talk to them.
They,
Well, we done said it about 5 times, but just
girl,
to see that bond and connection with
mhm,
y'all. And Pam talks about. I know I keep talking about Pammy, but
mhm,
she talks about how much she loves y'all and how
mhm,
much y'all sisterhood and
mhm,
friendship means.
mhm.
And
It means a lot.
I'm excited to have the conversation with y'all. But I want to ask
Yeah.
you a couple questions.
Okay.
Okay. What would somebody be shocked to know about you?
That I'm actually shy.
How you gonna start laughing? Come on, you are shy,
I
Tansy.
swear,
Really?
I am. I'm, in a
You are
sense,
calm with your people,
yeah,
but somebody else you ain't
I'm
gonna
kind
do
of
too
shy.
much. Yeah,
I know people don't believe it, but I really, I am. I can be shy.
yeah.
Mhm.
When is the last time you cried?
Oh, let's see. Let me see.
Because you
Girl, when
said
I
you
watched that Tyler Perry movie.
the straw.
So, oh
I
Lord.
went under the floor.
Oh girl, that movie had me
Oh
so
my
toe up.
God. And it was right at the end. I was already sad. And
Girl, I
then,
was toe up.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that was the
okay, that's the
last
last
time I
time you cried.
cried.
What's your favorite food?
Oh Lord. Favorite food.
What could
Pizza.
you eat every day? You can eat pizza every day.
I could eat pizza every day. If they didn't put 500 pounds on me, yeah,
Yeah,
I could eat pizza every
every
day.
day.
Um, and seafood.
Okay.
I love
You
seafood.
could you do a seafood boil? You
I
like
don't.
those?
No, I don't like seafood like that. I
Okay.
like just cook my food. I want to taste my food. I don't want it all in that bag and all that. I don't like all that.
It's too much.
No.
Yeah. What's your favorite place to travel?
Favorite place to travel. I
Hmm.
love New York.
You do?
I love New
Okay.
York. I love the Bahamas,
Mhm. Mhm.
and only because I just love the beautiful water.
Mhm.
Anywhere that have beautiful water. So
Mhm.
any
Mhm.
island. I love St. Thomas.
Okay.
I'm an island girl for
Yeah.
sure. But like if we're definitely just here in the United States, New York for sure.
If I get in the car with you now, what you listen to?
Jeezy.
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 Yes.
Yeah, I'm listening to Jeezy.
Okay.
Snowfall.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Jeezy.
I'm about to say I'm getting in with you. Where we
Yeah.
going?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Jeezy.
love that. Where do you
hmm
see yourself in the next 5 years?
5 years. Cam will be graduating high school, so I'm gonna still be
Mhm.
right here doing hair.
Yeah.
I thought I would be retired at like,
Yeah.
almost 60, but it don't look like I'm gonna be looking at that too soon because Cam got to
Yeah.
go to college. So
Yeah.
I see myself still happy,
Yes.
still blessed, still
Mhm.
enjoying life, still traveling,
Mhm.
still just doing
Do you
me.
feel like this is a good season in your life? And is
Oh
this one of
yeah,
the best seasons?
oh
I
yeah.
feel like this is one
The
of the best
older you
seasons
get,
of my
the
life.
better you get. And people be acting like when you
Yes.
get older, because like I'm 52 now,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
like,
And
oh, you
you
just
looking
getting old,
good. Okay.
honey.
52. Yeah.
52. I'll be 53 in December, but you
I
know,
love it.
I'm to me, I'm just getting better.
Yeah. Mhm.
Life is just so much. It's so much fun, and
Mhm.
I just feel like um, I'm just so blessed. Like I
Yeah.
have nothing to complain about.
Yeah. That's so
Nothing to
good.
complain
I
about.
love
I
that.
do what I want, when I want, how I want. Girl,
That's
when I say
it.
free,
Yeah.
free, baby.
Free, free, free.
Free,
Yeah.
free,
I
and
love
and
it.
and I'm enjoying raising my son. That's like the
Mhm.
I don't know if I didn't have him, I don't know what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
My life would be boring.
Yeah. That was your
But it's
completion right
fun.
there, huh?
Yeah, it's been really really
I
fun.
love
So
that. I love it.
yeah,
Well, this was a super dope
it
conversation.
was
I'm ready to do part two
okay.
with the aunties.
My
So we'll
girls,
be back, but we hope you have enjoyed
yeah.
this conversation. We hope you've learned some things about Tanzy that you didn't know, and we hope you were inspired and motivated. And all you hairstylists out there, you don't have to have a booking link. You can call. You can stay old
Yes,
school.
yes, it still works.
Right. So
It
before we
still
close
works.
out, is there what's some dope advice you want to give somebody who may be listening?
Hairstylist or just anybody.
Anybody. Especially with
Uh,
this era that you're in, this peace free
Trust
era.
God,
Mm-hmm.
listen to His voice,
Mm-hmm.
follow His wisdom.
Ooh. Because his people will miss his voice, won't
hmm
they?
Yeah,
Yep, that's good.
and
Trust God.
learn to discern His voice, because you know the devil
Mm.
be talking too now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
learn to discern His voice and just follow His voice.
I love
That's what
that.
I did.
I love it. Are you taking new clients?
Always.
Always? Okay.
If
So
I'm available, yeah.
okay, so
I don't even
how
get
do they get
that.
in touch with you? Is it
They can
friend of
call.
a friend of a friend, or is there a phone
No,
number
they
to
can call the
call?
salon. I still have a salon
Some
number.
number. Okay.
I still
Okay,
have an
what's the
address.
number?
I have a salon number. I can be reached. I can be
Oh.
reached at 2211 Gladstone Avenue, Unit A,
Mhm.
Nashville, Tennessee 37211. Salon phone number is 615-760-5287. call Eric or myself
I
for an
love it.
appointment.
Yes, that is awesome. Thank you for tuning in for this dope conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Thank you, Tanzy.
Thank you, Kim, for having me.
And we'll talk to y'all later.
Talk to you later.
Love you big.
Mm.
Bye.